I'm at 3752 Regent Avenue in Cincinnati, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. This is a two-family. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that would be concerning to the buyer. The access location on this is an old toilet flange here in the floor. I would like to go through, there's a rear stack over there behind the washer, but I can't get the cap out, and made quite a few attempts, but I'm not going to try to chisel it or anything like that. I don't want to risk damaging the pipe. It is old cast iron. Since there is another option here, I will run water from down that stack just to make sure it comes through. But this is the only available access here. So based off the age of the house, it should be all clay, as you can see. It should be clay all the way out to the main. And so this comes over and ties right in with this line that's going to be coming over from that stack. So there is about 10 feet there that so I will run water down that stack, but like I mentioned, I don't want to risk any kind of damage to that line. Obviously, the buyer doesn't own the place yet, so looks like we are coming back in. So this is probably the one coming back. There may have been another line. This looks like this is the main trunk line of the lateral. So what we'll do is we'll go all the way out as far as we can go, and then I will run some water and we'll check that out on the way back. So you can see some stuff, looks like basically broken down toilet paper there. So I don't know how long this house has been empty, but a little bit of buildup here. And the weird part about these too is that you have these floor drains tied in with a leaky foundation, normal for something this age. And so a lot of times debris can get in not only from there but also from downspouts and stuff like that. Debris can get in and settle in areas. And so we'll take a look on the way back, but because we can see a bunch of tie-ins here to the left. Looks like some old dead roots, but nothing of any concern. Some more old dead roots there. Here, it's a little active, but nothing really to do about it at that point. You might be able to do a chemical treatment to kind of see a little bit here. These are still at the point where you could probably do a chemical treatment to try to keep them, kind of burn them back a little bit, but nothing that's in the flow line at all. And running the snake through it right now would just go right past that stuff. Of course, got a little drop there on it. Of course, this would happen. Just enough to obscure the view. A little tiny speck, but right in the right spot. See well enough to inspect it and get to where we need to go, but I don't think that's a spider web there, but of course just enough, about 86 feet. So I think I'm getting close to the main here. you're turning down. It's kind of a weird little S in the line there. And there we are dropping into the main. So we'll try to rinse the camera off a little bit here. There we go. Then I'm going to pause the video, or I really don't even have to pause the video, but I'm going to because I want to run water through the upstairs line, not just this stationary tub. So we're going to pause the video for a second. I thought I was going to, but the monitor isn't reacting immediately, so I'm just going to go up and turn the water off. Alright, so did eventually pause, and so we're running a bunch of water down through here. Just want to kind of witness how it goes. The good thing is the line looks really good as far as structurally what I can see. It's back to about, there's some spider webs there, but just want to witness how the line flows and see. So there was those spider webs we were talking about. The line was obstructed, or the camera was, that we couldn't really see, but and a little bit of cracking going on. We're close enough to the main where that wouldn't be a problem. As far as it would be the Metropolitan Sewer District's issue to repair that if it ever became an issue, but it is still holding shape. Cracks like this are very common. There's no earth getting in. It's probably been there for a very long time. That was close enough to the main where if it ever does become an issue, it would be something that the Metropolitan Sewer District would repair. But they won't do anything about that because it's not altering operation or functionality or anything. Keep kind of swooshing it around to try to make sure that we get keep the lens clean. And so really the only thing I've seen is, see how that has kind of like a layer around it. Those are like old roots that are dead off to the left. Very, very minor, not in the flow line, but these look a little more active right here. And so in these situations, I mean, this is a very minor amount of roots, but you could, put some root X or something down it to try to keep them at bay, and usually that's about once a year you could do that. But this is not a major amount of roots. You do want to monitor it. I mean, obviously they can continue to grow if there are active trees close enough to the sewer line. If the line is within the drip edge of the tree, meaning It's usually, the rule of thumb is about 10 feet beyond how far out the branches reach on a tree. That would be the drip edge, is the extension, like how far out the branches go. We usually say that roots, just as a rule of thumb, go out about 10 feet beyond that. Obviously they can go further based off of drought and some other things, and based off the tree and all that good stuff. But so there's a little bit more here. Again, these could be taken care of with a chemical treatment on anything that if you had to have somebody, or tried to have somebody clean it at this point, it wouldn't really do anything. They wouldn't even be able to feel those roots as they went by. It was about 50 and 57 were the heaviest amount of roots there. This is where this is where some of the debris buildup was. Yeah. And like I said, that could be, it's kind of hard to see what that is. It just looked like debris that got in. Could have been from the downspouts, like I said. I didn't see any. Yeah, you can see it sitting there. And the longer you sit there, the longer we run water through there, it's going to help to kind of flush that stuff out. You kind of break it down if it's like mud or whatever, dirt off the floor. In fact, it looks like I've moved a lot of it along now that we've run water long enough. Yeah, it's probably the last person that used the restroom also. Before they, left the house. But regular use would flush that out. This line looks like it's coming over from the rear, probably downspouts, and we're still in front of where the branch to the main stack comes in. So see, there's water coming from behind us. And that may have been it right there. I believe that is where it's tied in, right there on the right. So that is where that stack comes in. We are getting flow through there. Like I mentioned, we were unable to access that spot, that stack. Just couldn't get the clean out cap out of it. And so what I'm going to do here, I think, just to be sure, kind of let just to kind of gauge what was there, is I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to locate where this is so we know about where it ties in. We know how many feet of pipe is in between here and that stack. Okay, so that comes over and ties in. There's about 10 to 12 feet of pipe underneath the floor that we are unable to inspect. We are getting, consistent flow through there, which is good. But obviously, because of the, like I mentioned before, the lack of access, because of the situation, obviously I can't risk doing any damage to that pipe, and so, but we are getting flow through, pretty consistent flow through. I don't see any, it is functioning well enough that all the water is getting through. So, although we can't see it, it's about the best way to show, the inspection. I've had this water running for 5 to 10 minutes already, and so everything looked good. And I would think that this line here is probably the stationary tub over here in the corner. Or the kitchen line, which is kind of pretty close to what I'm saying there. And we'll kind of run that and see how, if that comes out. That may just be, or it could be tied into the same branch, and then this right here could be like a rear downspout or something, but we'll see. Oh, there it is right there. So there's your kitchen line and stationary tub. That's another line that, you know, has no access and it's small diameter. Camera wouldn't fit through that well, but we are getting flow through that branch also. And that was pretty instant once it came through the trap. And so here we are back out of the toilet flange. So obviously not an actual clean out, but no, the line looked really good. Structurally, everything was great. The only thing we found is a little bit of root intrusion, a little bit of you know, minor root intrusion. Worst spots are at like 50 and 57 feet on the video, which you know, it's something you know, you're going to want to monitor in the future, but the you know, it's nothing that's of any immediate concern. You could do a, you could, you know, use a chemical treatment like Root X or something similar. If you want to kind of do some preventative maintenance, and you know, you could put one in now if you wanted to, and do it about once a year. But I would still monitor the overall condition of the line, maybe in another 5 years or so, do another scope, just to kind of check to see what kind of condition the line is in as far as the root growth, and just see if the roots are, you know, growing in any heavier, or if you've been doing that chemical treatment, it'll give you a peace of mind to know, to see how well that's working and keeping the roots back. But all in all, the line looks great structurally, and so just monitor the roots, which is, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but that's about the most common thing you'll find. Roots are in 80 to 90% of old clay lines like this. It's very, very common, and so a little bit of maintenance and a little bit of monitoring of the line, and you know, should be good to go for years. Just pay attention to it, and so if you never get to the point, and if you wanted to, you could get rid of the tree, and that would you know, stop the roots after a while from growing into the line. But again, overall, the line looks great structurally, and so, you know, just a little bit of maintenance and things will be great. So that'll end the inspection at 3752 Regent Avenue in Cincinnati, Ohio.